The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
Got the most insane earnings ever, but no move. Why? Why? Can anybody tell me? Apple, everyone, Fang, blah, 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 Microsoft, Alphabet, Soup, PayPal, Facebook. You think they're going to have good earnings? Do you think everyone already knows that? Everyone already knows it. Amazon, Samsung. Did you ever think about looking at the charts? Man, everyone's so confused, and everyone's talking about Apple again. Did you know for the third time, the day after earnings for Apple, see these yellow lines that I drew in here? Earnings, see the E? E, earnings. The graph even shows you on TradingView. This is too easy. If you're wondering, gee, I wonder if Apple is going to go down or up after earnings. All you have to do is look at the chart. What do we do as a group? We said, well, let's see, last two times, they had, of course, Apple had good earnings, but what happened? The excitement was already built in, and it fell after earnings. So what do you think happened this last round where we rallied all the way down from 124 from the down of last amazing earnings all the way up to 149? It went back down. Can you imagine being on the shorting end of this stick? Boy, what do you think about that? Can you imagine joining a group that would tell you to do something like that? It's that easy, folks. How about the QQQs? What are those looking like? Well, the same thing. It's just riding these ladders like Donkey Kong, over and over and over again. This last red FUD we had because of the Powell talk going on and the earnings. Remember, Apple and all the big ones were kind of going down because that's what they did. Not that bad. Not that bad at all. Nothing even compared to like last month at all, the month before. We still haven't had much. We just had like literally like 2% down or something. Of course, it bounced right off the trend line, as always. These are computer algorithmed. Okay? You're totally fine. You're absolutely totally fine. Electric vehicle charging. That's what we need to talk about. Do we? I don't know. Here's the thing. We had some talk, some United States federale talk today. And what did they do? They kind of did exactly what they do every month and a half. They kind of hinted and said, okay, we're going to get this infrastructure bill signed. Just watch as we feel it in our loins. About an hour and a half later, after all the charging plays like DCRN even, ChargePoint, all them, they all started rallying a little bit. About an hour after that came out, they came out and said, but we're not gonna make sure the infrastructure bill comes out. You know, the trillions of dollars they're trying to spend. We're not going to help out Americans because we're not going to do anything until other people sign this other thing we have over here. And you might ask, gee, what does that thing over there have to do with the charging and infrastructure for America? The answer is nothing. Other than the fact that people are trying to just slip and slide other things in and saying, we're not going to do the good thing for America until you allow us to do the thing that we're planning, talking like we care about, but we actually don't, but we're doing it because we're lobbying or against something, or maybe we got friends, or there's some sort of bigger story. The infrastructure and EV thing is in the books. We all want it. All sides want it. That's it. So guess what? The chargers are just not still going to pop until whatever happens with the United States government with fighting, or someone has a crazy plan that comes up and just saves everything. And at that point, maybe we'll get stuff like SNPR, DCRN to finally pop. The problem with DCRN, I love this play, but even news like I'm going to show you right down here happened today, and it still gets zero love. EV Box, remember them? Y'all remember EV Box? One of the hugest, maybe gonna go on the stock market plays. TC something. Anyways, big in Europe. They're even admitting right here, EV ultra fast charging with Allego. Allego operates Europe's first high power charging locations. So EV Box is hooking up with Allego to get the high power charging stations. But then look what else you can search and find. Allego has announced that in the future it will also rely on fast charging columns by guess who? Can you even tell by the picture? Right here. DCRN. Tritium. So Allegro goes to EV Box and goes, hey man, you want those fast chargers? And like, yeah, we want fast chargers. We can't figure out how to do it. And Allegro says, let me be the middleman, bro. Let me be the middleman, bro. I have you. I've got you. And what do? They call up Tritium and they go, hey, remember those fast chargers? Can we get some and like put our stickers on them? And they say, yeah, we'll put on whatever color stickers you want. Okay, I put on a Lego. That's what's going to happen. You got to know this macro picture of this, because once we finally get that bill passed, the infrastructure EV stuff will fly. How do I know that? Because it already hasn't run up. If it had already run up, I'd probably be telling you it's probably going to dump once the news finally came out, like Apple. But not this time. EVTOLs. Again, something to just watch. Finally, and one of my dreams came true, we have a video. One of the longest, I don't know if it's the longest flight ever, but fully flyable, you can see it with your own two eyes. Who is this? I don't even, Joby. Okay, this is Joby. This thing looks amazing. Do you see how these things are tilting? How the props are tilting? Anyways, they're filming this thing. They had it go in these like perfect circles. There was actually a pilot in it. It wasn't just like flown by nobody. But you can see here, it did this thing, went 1 hour and 17 minutes, 11 laps of predefined circuit that it did, 154 miles, without a flaw. Without a flaw at all. Why am I bringing this up? Because these are still all cheap. Real cheap. They're all getting real cheap. A lot of them are getting ready to de-SPAC. It's kind of scary though. Some could still drop after that, but be aware. These have a massive future. Just wait till your friends start riding and this gets on social media, people flying these things to here or there. Why are they so cool? Because you can put a whole airport on the top of a city building. Because they have vertical takeoff. You can go straight. You don't need a full runway landing pad. You just need this little office in there. That's it. Y'all heard of this custom cells company? They're a battery supplier. Well, they're going to be the ones that are supplying the batteries for Lilium. I don't think custom cells is on the market yet for SPAC, but that kind of came out. I was like, you know what? That can make sense. That can make total sense for a SPAC to grab custom cells. So watch that. We need to learn more about them to see if it's a good buy or not. Do they do EV vehicles too? Cars? Or are they just doing EVTOLs? Here's another rooftop they're talking about. You know, these things don't take up a lot of space. You can park them, they're small. Cool technology, just be aware of them. I think they're super neat. SV, ticker Spring Valley, Arrow Farms, remember them? This is, in my eyes, the biggest actual ESG contributor ever to ever hit the world, ever. Indoor farming. If you don't know why that would be, go watch my other videos. Here's the thing though. What do we get today? We got Arrow Farms Spring Valley acquisition, announced registration statement effectiveness on August 20th, scheduled special meeting to approve the business combinations. Instantly, you should be shaking your boots because you're probably thinking, okay, is the stock gonna tank like most SPACs now? Remember, we're shorting them now. You see my video? Probably not. You guys aren't keeping up on the videos. Do it if you want to make money. But guess what? This one doesn't have options. So we're actually staying away from the ones that don't have options. Why? Because you can't short it. Right? You can't buy puts. And so I'm thinking this might help out people, because how the deal goes is the second the ticker changes, the people who pipe these deals, right? The big money dudes are like, yeah, I'll throw in 100 million. No big deal here. No big deal. 100 million. They can then hedge themselves, their investment. They might be locked up to sell, but they can hedge by buying puts the day after the ticker change. That's how come you see these ticker changes, and you'll see something like fly a buck up, so it'll go like to 11, and then like 4 hours later, it'll come skyrocketing back down. It's because you got money, big money released to play the game. There's no options in this. So that actually might save Arrow Farm. Is it going to dump? Roll the dice and let me know. Regardless, I'm so macro long this company, it's not even funny. Huge. If you care about the environment, indoor farming, it's going to change more things than anyone else can. RBAC, Red Ball. Mr. Baseball's maybe the best sports one non-LOI out there, I'd say. Well, according to the big fund managers, the big money, they agree with me. I'm a huge believer that all news is definitely good for a brand. Even if it's negative, it gives brand recognition. People know about it. This could just be dude at sportico.com was bored and wanted to just write an article, and he just thought he'd write a kind of a fun one about it. All it's saying is when there's a lot of big money involved with SPACs, there can be some up and downs, just like we were talking about with the Arrow Farms. How it might be harder for them to do that. Well, this one just so happens to be, RBAC ticker here, this just so happens to be the largest fund-owned sports SPAC. Very interesting to me. I didn't even think to even look this up. But look at this, 165 different funds own this. That's huge. Number 2 is Slam. The A-Rod one, the panini sandwich. Y'all like paninis. Great graph. I completely stole this from the article. But here's the deal. RBAC is like record low. You can get the warrants for lower than they've ever been. I think they're like 93 cents right now. Why not? No matter what LOI, I don't see this how not going to hit $1.20. If it's even half as cool as Slam, or even if it is as cool as Slam, we should be $1.50 plus. If it's something pretty darn good, which I'm really hoping it is, make even more money, buy it. Buy it before it's expensive and we get an LOI, and then it's 10 months later, then you ask, do you think it's a good time to buy it? It's only 16. It went down a little bit. No. I'll talk about Fed talk a little bit. I'm going to keep it as short and sweet as possible. The Fed's FOMC maintains the $80 billion a month, by the way. The Fed pumps $80 billion in treasury buying a month. It's also going to maintain $40 billion a month in mortgage-backed security buying. MBSs. You think the economy is doing so well that the interest rates just keep going lower because the banks just love everybody? No. It's fake. It's a fake interest rate. It's a fake housing bubble people are still buying into. This $40 billion. Did you know that the home interest rates actually just went down again? They were like 3.01, and now they're like 3.00 or something like that. To buy a house, the interest rates are still going lower. Could they still go lower? Yeah. As long as this continues, this is literally all that matters. This is all that matters in the whole Fed talk. This is it. This is the only thing that triggers ups and downs in the stock market right now. This controls almost the whole world. This little one sentence right here. This means Daddy Powell is going to put the pixie dust all over the economy. That's it. No one cares about anything else, which is fine. So what does this mean? Stock's going to go up, dollar going to go down. If dollar goes down, what happens? Can anyone answer that question? Stock's going to go up though. IEA, one of my favorite American companies, dude. My favorite companies out there, period. Dude, these guys are amazing. They are the big, huge infrastructure play where like anything ESG, roads, whatever, they'll build it. I talk about them all the time. They just keep hitting out these press releases. Today we got earnings. Backlog increases by $86 million during the quarter to a record amount of $2.8 billion, and company expects to recognize $1.8 billion of a backlog over the next 12 months. They're just slamming it out. Just slamming it. Getting more and more deals, hundreds of millions of dollars of deals, billions of backlog deals. It's insane. We also had a little bit of market likes to think of it as negative news. I actually look at it as a big macro good news. They had what's called like an offering, right? Some big bros came in and were like, hey, you guys want like a bunch of cash? And they're like, heck yeah, man. And I said, okay, give us stock. We'll actually take stock, but we want a discount. Can we use this discount? And they said, well, how much money are you gonna give us? I think they told them like $200 million cash or something. I don't know what they're gonna use it for. I don't really care. All I know is I got 2.8 billion in backlog, and they probably need more rigs or cats or Danner boots or beef jerky or I don't know, maybe some pit stick. All that matters, we got even more money in here. It diluted stuff a little bit. I only think it was like a 3 million shares or something. It's nothing crazy. And they only asked for 5% off of what the average price was in the last 30 days average. So dude, so what's happening with the stock, people kind of got scared a little bit and sold off a little bit at the end of the day, which kind of sucks. It's still way undervalued anyway. I don't know. I think this one is just waiting for that whole governmentes to say, go ahead and here's the trillions of dollars. Here's the chart. We've had this consolidation that just won't stop. At least it's consolidating, but I think those guys probably ended up getting in at like 11-ish, 11.20. It's right now. It's currently sitting at like 11.66. It's no big deal. It's no big deal at all. I think it's a great deal. Give me $300 million cash, and I'll give you a 5% discount on shares. That seems totally fair to me. USA Oil, America Oil. Watch these plays. I'm not going to tell you to buy futures like a total grandpa, but listen, the futures have been up. All oil stuff is going up. Why? Because it's getting more rare. The opposite of the American dollar, right? Look at this. U.S. crude oil inventories dropped by 7.9 million barrels in the week of July 9th. In the week. The last one that just came out today. U.S. crude oil inventories fell by 4 million barrels last week, following a 2.1 million increase they had the week before. But what's going on long term? What's going on long term with oil is the price is going up. The price of stuff, the macro view, it's getting harder and harder to mine this stuff in America, shutting stuff down. More and more regulations importing, exporting. You can't snap your fingers and everyone's magically driving an EV tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. Oil's still definitely here. So what am I talking about? Not futures. This SPAC, bro. Look at this. You want to talk about a cheap SPAC? Look at this. These are rights. This SPAC is called Breze Holdings Acquisition Corp. Ticker for me is BREZR. These are the rights. So what you do for the math here is you 2x these, and that gives you a common share. Huh? Yeah, okay. You 20x these, it gives you a common share. So just 2x price out of zero. Basically, you're buying a common share here for less than $5 right now. That's how rights work. These you times 20. So you can buy a common share of this SPAC for literally $5 right now. Half off. Does that sound insane? It is. I might know some people that always buy rights because you can get them ridiculously cheap and they multiply really fast. This gets closer to ticker. Could this double? Easy. And that's if the commons stay flat. Remember, we're buying the common at $5 here. Take a look at this one. This is a play where they're going to be looking at oil and gas. It could even be another rice. Remember that ticker rice? They were going after oil and gas. No one touched it because they were going to be afraid it was this dirty oil. But what they're doing, what rice is doing, is getting kind of dirty gas and making it clean gas. Anyways, rice ticker went slamming high. I think it went like 20 bucks something. It's been holding really well, like 15 plus. Imagine owning these $5 commons and something decent comes out. Even if something non-decent comes out, you're still gonna make money. Spoon feeding your player right there. Dude, keep your eyes on this. Everyone's still talking about Lucid. Fantastic. Keep the price around $25 because guess what? You can buy a Polestar right now for 10 or less. It's like $9.96. Polestar destinations to rival Tesla as the EV upstart moves out of the mall. Polestar's been putting out fantastic articles. I love how they're not even talking about Lucid. Like, who's Lucid? Pfft. They're straight up saying Tesla. They're not saying Cadillac. saying we are going after Tesla. Fantastic. How are they doing it? They're utilizing a lot of points they already have and relationships they already have with Volvo, which is super smart. They're doing things like this where they're doing pop-ups in malls, 21 space and locations by the end of the year in the United States alone. So the United States are going to have 21 more sales places by the end of the year. That's huge. Worldwide, 100 more locations. And that's the next, we got 3-4 months till the end of the year. Man, time flies. 100 more locations in the end of the year. That's crazy. These things are dope, dude. They're super sick. They're coming to us in a year. There's literally zero risk buying this right now. Is it under the floor? I think so. Exceeding our owner's expectations. The SUV, remember, they already have 2 cars you can go buy tomorrow, by the way. You got a 2-door coupe and a sedan. You can go buy now, and people love them. But they have an SUV that's coming. It's going to be the Polestar number 3, Trace. That's going to be made in the United States, in South Carolina, in an existing Volvo factory. They already have the connections. They already have the space. They already own the property. Dude, this is beautiful. I hope that Lucid stays 25 because guess what? If Polestar gets me halfway there, I'm going to be a happy camper. Please tell me you're sitting in some GGPI. Ticker GGPI. Dude, DXY, remember I was asking above? The dollar bills, y'all. It's the American dollar. Did you know you can chart the American dollar here? Got a big old Wu-Tang. Big old Wu-Tang here. Big W. Well, look at this. Calling us out right around here that when the dollar goes down, silver likes to go up. Well, guess what? The dollar started going down. Why? Because we bought calls on silver. How do I buy calls on silver? I buy this thing right here, AGQ. Do you notice how this chart looks? Oh my goodness, it looks the opposite of the one we were just looking at. Remember that one up there was a Wu-Tang. This one is a McDonald's. See? Now this one started going up. AGQ is it's an ETF, and it's a leverage ETF for silver. So when silver goes up $1, this will go up $3 or $2. This is a 2xer. But if you want any more leverage, you can buy options on this thing. Don't do it if you can't handle a little bit of volatility. But as long as this chart, this Wu-Tang starts dripping down here, this will keep going. You guys ever heard of Bitcoin? Skewy. We sure have. Look at this. This was literally the easiest charted major event I've seen in a long time. This descending wedge I pointed out for like 3 weeks was beautiful. Was absolutely beautiful. It was too easy. I thought we were going to get faked out earlier than we have. I thought it was going to only maybe go to like 35 out of the descending cheese wedge and then fall back down. Remember? But dude, it just keeps going. They're kind of saying it could be a short squeeze-ish actually going on in between here because people shorted it where I thought they would, but whatever's going on, it's way high, dude. It's sitting at like 41,000, over 40,000. If we can stay above 40,000 right here, which we are, but right before I did this video, we're gonna be printing. Why? Because we were cool enough to be buying before this. But if you still don't have any exposure to this, I think it's totally fine to still enter some stuff. I've made a video, was it my last video? Talking about tons of ways to play it. I have tons of crypto plays. Go watch them if you want. There's 10,000 ways to make money on crypto. This is huge. Absolutely massive. How are you playing crypto? If you loved or even if you hated this video, just react to it. Would you mind sharing this video with your friends? We also have that group you can join. If you really want to get serious, make some money, do it. Link is down in the description. We will see you all there tomorrow.
Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.